welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast, Double P. Today, we're going to talk about a very important topic the positive psychology. But first, I want to tell you what it is. Based on Martin Seligman, is defined as the scientific study of the strengths and virtues which allow us to adopt a much more open perspective regarding human potential, motivation, and capacities. Donna, have you had an experience that you call self having that positive psychology and you have?
Actually, yes. At my job, I had some problems with a person who is older than me. He had a very different ideas from the other workers, and we wanted to have a talk with him to cold explain him how to is the correct way to work and process that the company have to follow. The man did not accept it. He told us that we were not going to teach him how to work. But fortunately, we knew how to understand each other through constructive communication, making him understand that he had opportunities to improve. But we understood him too because we knew that he used to do it was a new during and a lot of years. That's something that happened to me. I don't know if some else wants to tell a similar story or maybe something different.
Well, I would like to share my experience with you. In my case, it's about a problem that I had a few days ago with my girlfriend. We spent a few weeks arguing about some personal issues that we both dislike. Everything was a complete chaos because either of us could become therefore about thinking about many things. Everything seemed to get worse until I took the initiative to have a slightly more elaborate and peaceful conversation with her. To be able to agree on those points and to be able to learn a little about each other's differences. Something that helped us a lot and has always served us it is remembering all those beautiful moments that we have created together. Nostalgia helps us to be positively with each other. Now we are both calm and happy as much as possible. I think that in this aspect, positive psychology did its job to be able to avoid a major conflict or where every pet have generated a tragedy for both.
Wow! As you can see, they both had different problems, but they both solved it with positive psychology. How? They both solved with their problems having and knowing how to talk. Because sometimes we disagree with a lot of things. We can start a big problem because sometimes we don't know have an assertive communication.
I think the same that you, Alexis, and I wanted to say that, but you talked first. But you're all right because it is very important to know how to express ourselves. Because, as you said, if you don't know how to say things, we can provoke a worse problem. But not only the assertive communication is important. In my opinion, to be empathetic is the same or much more important than the assertive communication because I think empathy is first and foremost because I have to try to feel the same or maybe to try to think as the other person, and once we are in a similar situation we can have that talk with assertive communication that you said.
Positive psychology seeks to go beyond the objective and connect with motivation, needs, and concern, but it also has other benefits and features such as it rewards or gives great relevance to those activities and are carried out correctly. It allows us to regulate emotion by understanding that they are not a consequence of what happens around you. Try to understand a person's day-to-day life.
Many people in search of a positive psychology try to find ways to achieve it. Some things that we can give them to execute it will be they try to seek happiness in small things. That is what gives flavors to life. Be aware of the things we have and be grateful for them and find the best alternative within adversity and finally recognize what are the weak points in which we can strengthen ourselves and encourage us to want to use them in our day to day.
Well, we're reaching at the end of this episode, and to close this episode on positive psychology, we have seen how this branch of psychology not only seeks to understand our emotions and thoughts, but also invites us to focus on what strengthens us as human beings, our virtues, our moments of well being, and our connection with others. Positive psychology reminds us that although it is normal to have ups and downs, it is also essential to recognize and cultivate what makes us feel good and drives us forward. Well being is not just the absence of the negative, but also the presence of the positive. I also want to thank my colleagues, Donaldo and Arturo. Thank you for trusting us and telling us about your experiences. Thank you for joining, and do not forget to share this episode and start following us in our social media. The links will be in the description of this episode. Goodbye, and don't forget to share happiness. Bye bye.